Hi everyone. So this is my submission to a very interesting challenge that was posted by Vin Hopkins sir on his YouTube channel as well as on his website. So I will attach the link of them in the description box below. So what is the challenge? The challenge is that we have to transform this table using Power Query to look something like this. So this has to be our ideal output, and our solution has to be dynamic such that we add more data to this table in future. So our resultant query should gets updated upon the refresh. So the first step of challenge is that we have to filter out all these rows from this table which have the word include in them, right? So we have to remove this particular row which has the word exclude, and also we have to take care of the fact that Power Query is case sensitive. And next what we have to do is, for each of these staff members we have to find out the months that are there between start date and stop date, and we have to calculate the number of hours that they have worked in those particular months, right? So let's see how we can do so. So for that, first of all, let's load this into query editor. So we will go to data tab and we will click on from table / range. So our data is loaded in the query editor, and now as a first step what we will do is we will transform this status such that each of those words is in proper case. So we will go to format and capitalize each word, and now we can simply filter out this exclude status, right? And we no more require this status column, so we can remove this as well. Now what we will do is we will find out all the days that are there between this start date and the stop date, right? And we want our increment to be month. So let's say if this is let's say 28th January 2022 and our stop date is 20th February 2022. So we want our dates to be let's say 31st January and 28th February, right? The last date of the corresponding months. Let's say here for testing we have 23rd January 2022, and for and as our stop date we have 3rd March 2022. So our dates in the list should be 31st January 2022, 28th February 2022 and 31st March 2022. So we want 3 dates back, right? But in Power Query we don't have any direct way to get those increments by months, so we will use some techniques to get to that particular stage. So as a first step what we will do, we will generate all the dates that are there between start date and stop date and incremented by 1 day, right? So we will go to add column, custom column, and let's name our custom column as, let's say, dates time, right? And in our custom column formula we will use an m function, list dot dates, open the bracket, and as our start date, let's say we pass this start date column, comma, and let's say we keep this count as number as, let's say, 5, and our step will be 1 day. So we will write hash duration, open the bracket, 1 day, comma, and we want 0 hours, 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Let's close the brackets and let's click on OK. So we have got this list. So in this list we have 5 dates starting from the value in start dates column, right? So now we have to make that 5 dynamic. So we will again edit this, and we have to make this 5 dynamic such that it has all the dates between start date and stop date. So we will do stop date minus start date and +1, right? And let's click on OK. But we are getting error here. Now why we are getting error? So we are getting error because these are dates, these are not numbers. But as we know that Power Query stores these dates as numbers, so what we can do number dot from, open the bracket and close the bracket here, right? And again for start date as well, so number dot from, open the bracket and let's close the bracket here. So click on OK, and we have again got our list, and now this is dynamic. So this particular list, let's say, will include all the dates between 22nd January and 2nd February 2022. Right, so let's check this. So if we scroll down, we have 2nd February and we have 22nd January. Right, now we will simply expand all these to new rows. So our list is expanded, and now as we discussed that we don't want our increment to be 1 day, but we want our increment to be of 1 month, and we want the end of that particular month as our return value. So we will again select this dates time column, and we will go to transform, and we will do date, month, end of month. Right, so we have all the end of month dates, and now we will simply remove duplicates. So we will go here and remove duplicates from complete table. Right, so we have this as our result. So now for each of these staff members, we have to calculate the number of hours that they worked in, let's say January, in February, in again January, February, and let's say in March. Right, so now we have to calculate the total number of hours worked in those particular months, and for that we have to write only simple conditions. So we will go to add column, and we will click on custom column, and let's name this new column as hours worked. So hours worked, and let's start writing our conditions. So if this dates time value is equal to date dot end of month, right, and we have to find out end of month of start date. If this is equal to end of month of start date, then we have to subtract from 24 this start time divided by 100, and we have to also add to this date dot day, right, of this dates time minus date day of this start date. Correct, and we have to multiply this complete value by 24. So 24 into, open the bracket and let's close the bracket here, and else we want to see, let's say 0. Right, we will start writing our conditions further, but let's say we want 0. Let's click on OK, and we have got this as our result. So for starting months, we have got our number of hours that they worked, and now we will find out the number of hours that they worked in their last month. Right, and then we will find out the number of hours that they worked in all the months that are there in between start date and the stop date. Correct, so this is for starting date, the number of hours that they worked in starting date, again I am saying, and now we have to do the same thing for stop date as well. So we will write another condition. So let's do this properly, and let's also put this else here. Else if, so else if r, again we will copy this same formula right till here. Let's copy this and let's paste this here. If our dates time column is equal to end of month of stop date, then what we have to do, we have to simply do stop time divided by 100 plus 24 into date dot day, right, date dot day of this stop date minus 1, and let's close the bracket, and also now do else we want 0, right. So let's click on OK, and we have got this as a result. So we have done this thing for starting month, we have done this thing for ending month, and finally we have to calculate the total hours worked in the months that are there in between starting date and stop date. Correct. So we will again go to our condition, and as our final condition we will do else what we want date dot day of this dates time column multiplied by 24. Correct? And let's click on OK, and we have got our final results, right? And again the transformation has to be done. So we require these two columns, we don't require this stop time, and we don't require till start date, right? So we will use shift key and select all these columns, and let's press delete key. So we are left with only these three columns, and now we can simply pivot this data. We will select this staff name column, we will go to transform, pivot column, and we will select hours worked, and from this advanced options we have to select this sum here, correct? And let's click on OK, and we have got this as a result, right? So let's load it. So we will click on file, close and load to. We will load it as a table to existing worksheet, and let's say we load it here. So let's click on OK, and this is the result that we have got, and let's compare this result. So we have dates time column, we have all the names here, right? Only one difference that here we have date time, here we have dates time, but that doesn't matter. The result is exactly same as you can see. So now let's test this by adding one more row of data to this table. So let's select this and let's add this to this table, right? And let's expand this table to include this row as well. And let's do one thing, let's format these particular cells as short dates. So let's come here and short date, right? So our start date is 25th February 2022, and the stop date is 30th April 2022, right? So let's refresh our query. So let's go to data tab and let's click on refresh. So our table got expanded, right? And for January we don't have anything because he didn't work in January. For February we have these many hours, for March we have these many hours, and for April we have these many hours. So this was my submission to the problem that was posted by Win Hopkins sir, and do let me know if what do you think about this solution. And thanks a lot for staying till the end, and please do hit the like button and subscribe this channel for more such videos. So thanks a lot, and hope to see you in more such videos in future. Thank you.